Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Ashta Sakhis Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Giri Govardhan ki jai, Giri Govardhan ki jai, Nrsimhadev Bhagavān ki jai, Prahlād Maharaj ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 22, The Marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti, verse 20. Yato bhavad viśvam idam vicitraṁ saṁsthāsyate yatra vāvatiṣṭhate. Prajā-patīnām patir mahyaṁ. Paraṁ pramāṇaṁ bhagavān anantaḥ. Yato bhavad viśvam idam vicitraṁ. Saṁsthāsyate yatra vāvatiṣṭhate. Prajā-patīnām patir mahyaṁ. Paraṁ pramāṇaṁ bhagavān anantaḥ. Please repeat. Yato bhavad viśvam idam vicitraṁ. Saṁsthāsyate yatra vāvatiṣṭhate. Prajā-patīnām patir mahyaṁ. Paraṁ pramāṇaṁ bhagavān anantaḥ. Yato bhavad viśvam idam vicitraṁ. Saṁsthāsyate yatra vāvatiṣṭhate. Prajā-patīnāṁ patir mahyaṁ. Paraṁ pramāṇaṁ bhagavān anantaḥ. Yato bhavad viśvam idam vicitraṁ. Saṁsthāsyate yatra vāvatiṣṭhate. Prajā-patīnāṁ patir mahyaṁ. Paraṁ pramāṇaṁ bhagavān anantaḥ. Ladies. Yato bhavad viśvam idam vicitraṁ. Saṁsthāsyate yatra vāvatiṣṭhate. Prajā-patīnāṁ patir mahyaṁ. param pramāṇaṁ bhagavān anantaḥ. Yato bhavad viśvam idaṁ vicitraṁ saṁsthāsyate yatra ca vāvatiṣṭhate. Prajā-patīnām patir eša mahyaṁ. Paraṁ pramāṇaṁ bhagavān anantaḥ. Yato bhavad viśvam idaṁ vicitraṁ saṁsthāsyate yatra ca vāvatiṣṭhate. Prajā-patīnām patir eša mahyaṁ. Paraṁ pramāṇaṁ bhagavān anantaḥ. Word for word. Yata, from whom? Abhavat, emanated. Viṣvam, creation. Idam, this. Vicitraṁ, wonderful. Saṁsthāsyate, will dissolve. Yatra, in whom. Cha, and. Va, or. Bhavatiṣṭhate, presently exists. Prajā-patīnām, of the prajapatis. Patir, the Lord. Esha, this. Mahyaṁ, to me. Paraṁ, highest. Pramāṇaṁ, authority. Bhagavān, Supreme Lord. Anantaḥ, unlimited. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The highest authority for me is the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom this wonderful creation emanates, and in whom its sustenance and dissolution rest. He is the origin of all prajapatis, the personalities meant to produce living entities in this world. And purport. Kardama Muni was ordered by his father Prajāpati to produce children. In the beginning of creation, the prajapatis were meant to produce the large population, which was to reside in the planets of the gigantic universe. But Kardama Muni said that although his father was Prajāpati who desired him to produce children, actually his origin was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Viṣṇu, because Viṣṇu is the origin of everything. He is the actual creator of this universe. He is the actual maintainer, and when everything is annihilated, it rests in him only. That is the conclusion of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. For creation, maintenance, and annihilation, there are the three deities Brahmā, Viṣṇu and Maheśvara, Shiva. But Brahmā and Maheśvara are qualitative expansions of Viṣṇu. Viṣṇu is the central figure. Viṣṇu therefore takes charge of maintenance. No one can maintain the whole creation but he. There are innumerable entities and they have innumerable demands. No one but Viṣṇu can fulfill the innumerable demands of all the innumerable living entities. Brahmā is ordered to create and Shiva is ordered to annihilate. The middle function, maintenance, is taken charge of by Viṣṇu. Kardama Muni knew very well, by his power in progressive spiritual life, that Viṣṇu, the personality of Godhead, was his worshipable deity. Whatever Viṣṇu desired was his duty and nothing else. He was not prepared to beget a number of children. He would beget only one child, who would help the mission of Viṣṇu. As stated in Bhagavad-gītā, whenever there is a discrepancy in the discharge of religious principles, the Lord descends on the surface of the earth to protect religious principles and to annihilate the miscreants. Marrying and begetting a child is considered to liquidate one's debts to the family in which one is born. There are many debts which are imposed upon a child just after his birth. There are debts to the family in which one is born, debts to the demigods, debts to the pitas, debts to the rishis, etc. But if someone engages only in the service of the Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, who is actually worshipable, then even without trying to liquidate other debts, one becomes free from all obligations. Kardama Muni preferred to devote his life as a servant of the Lord in Paramahamsa knowledge and to beget a child only for that purpose, not to beget numberless children to fill up the vacancies in the universe. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahakana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsham Namam Viṣṇu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shadarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitānam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupam Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We see that in most religions, obedience to parents is very much appreciated, and and the subjects are advised to follow their parents and be very obedient. But ours is not such religion. So this class is going to be about how we can be disobedient to our parents. And before I get into this, I want to speak a little bit about some statistics from there are some research agencies which are studying demographics of the world population, and they are following the statistics within 150 years. There are demographic records, and then based on some models they calculate the population of the earth in the past. So their research concluded that the global population reached 1 billion in the year 1804. And then it took a little bit more than a century to reach 2 billion, estimated 1927. And then in the 20th century, it went from 2 billion to 3 billion in 30 years, 1960. Then from 3 billion to 4 billion in 15 years, in 1975. Then to 5 billion in 87, which means in 12 years. And then 6 billion in 1999 with this break of 12 years. So this means it doubled from 1960 to 1999, went from 3 billion to 6 billion. Then we reached 9 billion in 2011 and 8 billion in 2022, and now the population is around 8.3, and then some models say it will grow in the future, and then some models predict that actually it will not grow, it will go down. So it seems Lord Brahma finally plan worked somehow. He must be happy with this 20th century people that so many population finally increased and the universe is populated with at least planet Earth definitely is populated with human beings. But what Kardama Muni is saying in this verse is that actually he agreed to marry Princess Devahuti and to have children. But he said, I'm not doing this because my father, who is his father, Lord Brahma, I'm not doing this because my father ordered me to do this. I'm doing this for the satisfaction of Viṣṇu, because it is his mission in this world is, and then this verse is mentioned, paritranaya sadhanam vinashacha dushkritam dharma samsthapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge, that Krishna appears after every millennium to punish miscreants, to protect sadhus, and to re-establish principles of religion. So this is what Kardama Muni says, that I will only beget one child who will help the mission of Viṣṇu. So we know that actually he had 10 children, because first pregnancy he had 9 daughters, and because Devahuti wanted a son, then he also gave her a son. But in this verse, this is the concluding verse of his conversation with Swayambhuva Manu. He is saying, my Lord is Supreme Person, Viṣṇu, he is my pramāṇa, he is my authority, and I am doing this service of begetting children as my duty to him. So we see this is confirmed in many verses in Bhagavad-gītā. This year somehow I am also following Bhagavad-gītā course, and I want to quote those verses where Krishna speaks to Arjuna that I am the origin of all people, of all living beings. I am like this purport says, I am the creation, I'm the maintenance, I'm the annihilation, and I'm the maintainer and supporter. So your meditation is on me. We are used to growing up thinking how our parents are our maintainers and they created us. And therefore we have such strong affection toward our parents. But Krishna is advising again and again in Bhagavad-gītā that our meditation should be on him only, and that he is our authority and our obedience is to him. He is our worshipable deity. So this is very much, we can say, minimizing the authority of parents. Because we are devotees, we dedicate our life to Lord Krishna alone. Who here has parents which are not favorable to us, their children being devotee? Okay, so quite some of us. And yes, we see here that we are very sad. We would like that, oh, I'm devotee, why cannot I preach to my parents? But we see that somehow this message will come to them at some other time. We don't have power, we don't have influence over when they will realize that they should also become devotee. So these verses I want to quote from Bhagavad-gītā. Mata parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutramani ganaiva. O conqueror of well Dhananjaya, there is no truth superior to me. Parataram nanyat. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Famous verse which says that just as the thread is invisible in a necklace of pearls, it is essential because it's keeping all the pearls together. Then in 7.10, Lord Krishna also says, Bijam mam sarva bhutanam, know that I am the original seed of all existences. And 8.9 he says, Kavim puranam anushasitaram anor anyam sam anusmeredya sarvasya dataram achintya rupam aditya varnam tamasa parastat. He is giving instruction how to meditate upon him. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as one who knows everything, Kavim, as he who is the oldest, Puranam, who is the controller, Anushasitaram, who is smaller than the smallest, Anor Anyam Sam, who is the maintainer of everything, Dataram. This is the word that is used again and again for this activity of maintenance of the material world, who is beyond all material conception, inconceivable, and who is always a person. So all this is translation of the word Achintya Rupam, and who is luminous like the sun, Aditya Varnam, and who is transcendental, beyond this material nature, Tamasa Parastat. We see that just like in Varnashrama, there are higher Varnas, higher ashramas, and those who are able to think of Lord Krishna as one's maintainer and who have such a strong faith that they are not afraid that they will go hungry or that they will not be protected and maintained. So those get this position of being a Brahmana and being a sannyasi. This is very much related, such faith that Krishna will maintain me. Otherwise, most of the living entities, humans, they are very much busy in working very hard to maintain themselves. They think I have to earn money so I can buy house and I can buy food so that I have protection and nourishment, because if I don't provide these things for me, then I will just loiter in the street and go hungry. But the system of society which is promoted by Lord Krishna personally is such that you just need to have faith that Krishna will maintain me, and then everything will be taken care of. This is maybe not a very good proposition from the point of view of modern economical system, where the point is that everybody needs to work so that the economy is expanded, and every country wants to have GDP. We are much into this maintenance and depending on Krishna. Just as many economical systems, they speak about self-sustainability, how there is community and they produce everything they need. And then what we have to say is that there is no self-sustainability, there is only Krishna sustainability, because he's the one sustaining everything. So next verse I want to share also is famous verse, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshu avastitaha. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains what this verse refers to is that we cannot perceive Lord Krishna through our gross material senses. Although everything is resting in Him, He is aloof and He is managing this material world through His different energies. And analogy is mentioned that just as a king has his government and he is not always personally present, but through the government he is managing the kingdom, so similarly the Lord is managing material creation through his energies. And this also verse is mentioned in that purport, Vishtabhyaham idam kritsnam, from 10:42. Atava bahunaitena kim yatena tvarjuna Vishtabhyaham idam kritsnam ekam shena stito jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, ekam shena, I pervade Vishtabhyam and support the entire universe, kritsnam jagat. So again, he is here using the word Vishtabhyam, how he is pervading everywhere and supporting stita. Then again, there are so many. 9:6 Yatakasha stito nityam vayu sarvatra gomahan tata sarvani bhutani matstani tupadaraya. Understand, upadaraya, that as the mighty wind Vayu, who is blowing everywhere, sarvatrago, rests always in the sky, yatakasha stito. All created beings, sarvani bhutani, they rest in me, mat staniti. So it is not possible to, material world is for living entities who want to be independent from Krishna, but it is not possible to be independent. It is only possible to be in the illusion that we are independent. Then 9:8 Prakritim svam avashtabhya visrijami puna puna bhuta gramam imam kritsnam avasham prakriter vashat. The whole cosmic order is under me, under my will. It is automatically manifested again and again, puna puna, and under my will it is annihilated at the end. It is manifested visrijami, and bhuta gramam imam kritsnam, whole cosmic order is under me. So he is aloof, but nothing can happen without his will. And 9:10 Mayadhyakshena prakriti swate sacharacharam hetunanena kamteya jagat viparivartate. Material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, Mayadhyakshena. So he is directing. He is not aloof in a sense that he doesn't direct anything or he doesn't care. He's very much observing, so because adyaksha means under my eye, under my watchful eye. O son of Kunti, it's producing all moving and non-moving beings, suyate sacharacharam, and under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Viparivartate. So creation and maintenance and destruction is like a cycle which is happening in the material world. 9:17, he says, Pitaham asya jagato mata data pitamaha vedyam pavitram omkara riksama yajur evacha. So here again he mentions the word data, supporter. I am the father of this universe, Pitaham. So he's the father. The mother, Mata, he's the mother and the father. The support, Data, and the grandsire, Pitamaha. Grandsire means grandfather. I am the object of knowledge, Vedyam, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sama, and the Yajur Vedas. So we worship Lord Krishna, who says that he is our mother and father. Then in 9:18 he says, Lord Krishna says, Gatir Bharta Prabhu Shakshi Nivasa Sharanam Sukhrit Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. So he is, I am the goal, Gatir, the sustainer, Bharta. This is another word that the Lord is maintaining the universe. The master, Prabhu, the witness, Shakshi, the abode, Nivasa, the refuge, Sharanam, and the most dear friend, Sukhrit. I am the creation, Prabhava, and the annihilation, Pralaya, the basis of everything, Sthanam, the resting place, Nidanam, and the eternal seed. So we see that what he's saying over and over again is that all living entities, they come from him, Bijam, that we are not able to at any time be separate from Krishna. This is our constitutional position. So therefore, this is the conclusion that Kardama Muni gives in his speech to Swambhuva Manu, that I am a devotee of the Lord and I do my service, and my service is for the mission of the Lord. So he is not like fallen person who wants to enjoy. He sees that this is my service, just as I was doing austerities as a service, so I am continuing to do my service. For him, there is no difference that, okay, now I had performed so much austerities and now finally I get reward. No, for him, his life of austerity continues. And that was his condition, that he said, I will marry and I will give the children to Devahuti, but after the child is born, I want to live, to dedicate myself to spiritual life. And therefore, because she wanted a son, then he gave her 9 daughters. He got from the first pregnancy, and Kapila, Lord Kapila, from the second pregnancy. And then he left, and this is explained that although the Lord appeared as his son, he left so that he can set example for living beings. As this is how one is not supposed to stay in Grihastha ashram all his life, but toward the end of his life, devotee is meant to enter Vanaprastha ashram, and for men sannyas ashram, so that they can devote their meditation and all their time exclusively on hearing, chanting, meditating upon the Supreme Lord. Because the basis of Krishna consciousness is that at the end of one's life, one will think of Krishna at the moment of death. This is the basis. So we want to, as life progresses, we want that at the end of our life, we want to be in a situation which is very favorable, which is preparing us for this, we call it the final exam of being able to think of Krishna at the moment of death. Therefore, we are not obliged to listen to our parents, because parents, they usually want us, just like Lord Brahma, he had now children and he wanted grandchildren. So similarly, all parents, they want grandchildren, and then they want their children to work hard, to get house, to get famous in society. They have some kind of expectations, and for us as devotees, we see that sometimes we had to draw the line and say no, and say, my dear father, my dear mother, I am okay, leave me alone. That I'm not gonna satisfy you, just accept me. I am the way I am, and that's just how it is going to be. And this is it's coming from Shastra. There's a verse in the 11th canto, Devarshi bhutaptan rinam pitrinam nakinkaro nayam rni cha rajan sarvatma naya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritya kartam. O king, this is speaking, Narada concludes his teachings to Vasudeva. 11.5.41. O king, one who has given up all material duties and has taken full shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, who offers shelter to all, is not indebted to the demigods. The verse says, Nakinkaro Nayam Rini Cha. It means, I am not obliged to be their servant, nor I have any debts. To those groups of people, so he mentions demigods, deva, great sages, rishis, ordinary living beings, bhutapta, then mrinam, which is translated as relatives, friends, and mankind in general, or even one's forefathers, pitrinam, who have passed away. So all those who have some expectations from us, from these groups, we are free from duties toward them. Since all such classes of living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, one who has surrendered to the Lord's service has no need to serve such persons separately. Usually this analogy is given how when one is watering the root of the tree, he does not need to nourish separately leaves or the branches, because the whole tree gets nourishment from the roots. And also in the teachings of Lord Rishabhadeva, he is giving instructions to his sons in the verse in the 5th canto, verse 18, chapter 5, verse 18. Gurur na sasyat, svajano na sasyat, pita na sasyat, janani na sasyat, daivam na tatsyan, na patish cha sasyan, na mocha yedya samupeta mrityum. One who cannot deliver his dependents from the path of repeated birth and death, Namochayed ya samopeta mrityum, should never become, and now he gives a list, a spiritual master, gurur nasasyat, a father, pita, a husband, pati, a mother, janani, or a worshipable demigod, daivam. This is a very high standard of qualification to have children, not only children, but also disciples. And in spiritual science, everything is centered around going back to Godhead and ending this cycle of repeated birth and death. And although, like I said in the beginning, throughout the 20th century, what I found really astonishing is that 20th century had 2 world wars where millions of people were killed, but this didn't stop humanity from growing in such large numbers. And of course we learn in school that this was all possible because invention of electricity, plumbing, and concrete. When they started building big concrete buildings and introducing flowing water and plumbing and sewage system, and all the machines were invented and produced, that is when such favorable conditions on planet Earth became available for many humans to stay alive: medicine, antibiotics, hospitals, and this made it possible for such expansion of living entities. And what we were learning in school, how this of course means progress, because now humanity is advancing, progressing, and in the future we're going to become immortal or something like this, when they're going to find cures for all the illnesses, and they're going to invent amazing machines which will allow us to extend our lives. So what we have to say, based on Shastra, is that no, this is not going to happen, and that what is going to happen in Kali Yuga will be very, very dark, and not that humanity will progress, but what will happen is that actually humanity will become very greedy and very sinful, and then human beings will even, it's mentioned, they will, when there will be no food, they will eat each other. So even cannibalism is predicted, which sometimes in news we can read. There are cases like this. So we are, in that sense, we as followers of Srila Prabhupada, we are not optimistic about the future of humanity in the sense of expansion of human population. We are only optimistic about the promotion and extension of Sankirtan movement, which is inviting living human beings to participate in process Krishna consciousness, so that they become, they practice how to go back to Godhead and not take birth again. This is the measurement of advancement. Having a large population is not measurement of advancement. And just the last point I want to make, that because this was the first thing occurred to me, how when I became vegetarian, and I became vegetarian before I became devotee, a few years before, just on my own, and I never thought this is anybody's concern. I thought this is just some decision I make. But when I told my parents, dear mother, dear father, from today I'm just not gonna eat what you cook, and I'm just gonna cook for myself. I'm gonna have my own pots, and don't offer me anything. I'm not eating meat. And they were so disturbed. They were so, what? Why? You are strange. This is not normal. Why you want to do this? So for the preaching purposes, we should be aware that when we are inviting people to participate in our movement, and this is going to be such a huge problem for them, that if they become vegetarians and if they live with their parents, this will be such issue. And that is why Srila Prabhupada said, I didn't want this movement to just to preach and then people live in their flats just where they are living and practice Krishna consciousness. That's why he wanted devotees to live together in communities, which like communities centered around the temple, and then there is a whole economy which is sustaining that community, exactly because he was anticipating how this will be a problem for many people, that when they become devoted, for them it is going to be very difficult to live with their parents, because the lifestyle of a Krishna conscious person is very much different, and the parents are usually upset that suddenly you follow strange rules, you follow strange diets, you pray all the time, you chant all the time. That is why Srila Prabhupada wanted that he forms a society where this kind of lifestyle is nourished for the devotees, so they can actually, we have to say, leave their families which are not favorable. So this is our legacy, because Narada Muni, he did this. He got a curse from Daksha because he converted his sons he convinced his sons to stay brahmacharis, and Daksha got upset. So we inherited this curse from Narada Muni, that we will just have to travel and try to practice away from, in many cases, I'm just speaking because this is my case. I'm sure that if there is a situation where the grandparents are devotees, children are devotees, and grandchildren are devotees, this is really ideal to have such situation where one can practice inside in family, loving devotee family. But otherwise, for those of us who don't have this fortune, we have to a little bit stay away from parents which are not favorable. Okay, I will end here. Actually, looks like I don't have much time. Maybe a short comment or question. Yes.
Thank you for that class. And when the devotee speaker asks for comments, why don't we have 100 hands raised? If you're thinking about what you just heard and what you just read, everyone should have some comment. So I'm just making a general point. I was astonished every time I think about when Prabhupada writes and teaches us that Lord Viṣṇu is maintaining every living entity within the universe, not just on earth. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to I don't know how to even imagine that. Like, for a certain part of my life, 15 years of my total life, I was in the Grihastha ashram, and I have a son and a daughter. I have 2 children. Now, you just described human population of 8 or 10 billion, 9 billion. I worked to maintain 1 wife and 2 children. And without work, God is maintaining, just on this one planet, 9 billion children. But that's just in the human species. You read that God is the Father of everyone. So this is beyond my ability to even try to imagine. I mean, how many trees are there on the whole planet? How many blades of grass? Human life is rare, which means life in the other species adds up to much more than just the human population. One Father maintaining trillions and quadrillions and unlimited living entities just on one planet. And there's life on hundreds of millions of planets. So that's when I read purports like this and hear purports like this, and I think of Kardama and Prabhupada teaching, Vishnu's maintaining every living being. I don't know how to think about that. It's just too awesome. That Aishwarya, that power, this is just on one planet. I can't calculate. And he's doing this in unlimited universes, with unlimited planets in each one. So that's the power of God that I am astounded by when I read this purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. I think we can end here. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Gora Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.